Hello. In this super short video, I wanted to go over sort of the steps that I use in Roman numeral analysis when we're analyzing a chorale, four-part chorale. You've got in your chorale setup 4 voices. So you've got a soprano, alto, tenor, and bass voice. And they are important to keep track of horizontally, okay, as independent voices. But when we're doing Roman numeral analysis, the focus for us is going to be what's happening vertically. So what I do is I basically take a tally of all the chord members, stack them in root position, and then apply my Roman numerals. So, for example, the first chord here, we have a C. We've got another C in the tenor, and since I've accounted for it in my tally, in my chord, I do not need to repeat it. We've got an E, and since we want to stack them in root position, line, 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 space, 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 or like a snowman, I'm going to put it right there. And then we've got a G. It looks like, by the look of this particular exercise, we're in C major. And in the key of C major, C here is the root of my chord, C is the first scale degree, and I know that in a major mode I've got a capital tonic because we've got a major triad, right? So I'm going to use Roman numeral 1 for that. I don't need any Arabic numerals because, as you can see, we've got C in our root of our chord here, and then C is also the base of our given chord. So as far as that goes, no need to worry about any any Arabic numerals because the 5 and the 3 that would normally be there are understood. So the next chord is a similar situation. Remember that up here in the instructions it says ignore the 8th note beats in the analysis. So I'm not going to worry about these notes basically. Okay, reason being we haven't quite gotten to them yet. In terms of where we are in our course. Those are non-chord tones. They're actually called passing tones. And they don't make sense in the chord. So we can analyze without them for now. So here I take the same tally. I've got a C, I've got a C, I've got an E, and notice I don't have a third note, okay? In this case, we can basically judge our chord quality, in terms of what the root and the third are doing. So we assume that this is going to be the root and the third. We're missing the 5th. And because this is a major third, remember that bottom interval of a triad really determines chord quality for us. So because it's a major third, I'm going to assume that this is another major chord. And because C is in the bass, and C is the root of the chord, and C is the first scale degree in C major, we are, again, a root position tonic. Okay, now let's move on and do one more chord here, and then the rest you can all do on your own for practice. This next chord, let's take account of what we've got. We've got an E, we've got a C, and in this case, if I want to keep it all on lines and spaces, I have to put it back down below the first one that we've analyzed. G, and then our repeated C is up here. So again, I've already got that accounted for. So this chord, again, a 1 chord, right? We've seen it twice before already. We've got a 1 chord, but this time the root is not the bass note, right? The third is the bass over here. So we are going to have a 1 chord. Remember, the Roman numeral is attached to the root in root position. It never changes in terms of its relationship to that, but the relationship to the bass does change. So our bass happens to be our third. This is a first inversion chord. So remember, you can either go through the inversion hotline or you can look at what the intervals are above this bass note, right? We've got a 6th, we've got a third, and then we've got an octave. And of course, the third and the octave we don't have to rewrite, but we do write the 6th. Okay, so that's basically what a complete Roman numeral analysis is that you've got the Roman numeral and the Arabic numerals if needed with any other annotations like little degree symbols for diminished if you have them underneath your staff. That is a complete analysis. It should hopefully correspond roughly or in general will correspond to what we know about progressions. So we start in a tonic area, the tonic is prolonged somehow. We get to sort of a predominant area, which would be scale degree 4, scale degree 2, and then we get into our dominant area, and typically the dominant then moves right on to the tonic after that. Okay, and we can go over the rest of this in our live session. Please bring your questions if you have any as you're going through. Good luck.